Yes, you do. Hmm? Mm. Check it going check out because for some reason ain't nobody coming on. I still got it private.
I can't see you.
Hmm. So let me go out again.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, you made it private. Hold on, let me go and make it.
Okay. Thank you. Did I monetize it? Yeah, I monetized it. I know I did because that's the first thing I do nowadays. Second thing I didn't do is who? Oh, I know I didn't make it public, Shaggy. Yeah, I can tell because ain't had no. Yeah. Put it on that down there. Because I can't right now because the screen is on. If I do that, then everybody be able to see the information. Peace, peace, peace. Be back. Tell your friends, family members to come on in. It's time to get it back cracking and popping again.
Bring a friend.
All right, this episode is called Gods, Humans, Mankind, and Alien DNA. All right, that's what this one is called. We're gonna continue going deeper. There's going to be the last 2 hours of this segment. So there's only been 3 segments. We did not call them parts because we understand that our people don't watch part 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we got smart. We named it different names. You had to go to the joints to see them. They different names. All right. That's how smart we have gotten. All right. So come on in, come on in. We're gonna let the room fill up a little bit more, then we're gonna get it popping. Get my kale, spinach, and green beans juice. People must be watching a lot of other stuff, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna let the number come up a little bit now. Come on now, come on up in here.
Can you see the chat?
No, I can't see the chats.
You can say you can see the chat. Let's see. Peace. All the plants that's out there, please. One of them might. Okay. I just emailed a link to a sister. This is Naya Fluffy, aka Skittles. She was saved from being crushed by a truck. She likes to sit on computers. Hold on, I sent it to Google. If anybody want to ask any questions, we can go in on those. Okay, Jason said he had a dream that had Dr. York in it. Sent one? Yes, it is. Oh. There you go. Okay, now we can close some of this stuff. Okay. And then, let's see, make this no volume. Please accept friend request. Okay. Chat one. See people watching so far. There you go.
All right. All right, so we're gonna go on in.
The dream you had about how to hear there was in the attic of the church.
Okay. Okay.
He healed me with green light.
Oh, word. Okay. Excellent. He's getting back his own powers, but obviously a better way. All right. So let's go to share screen. All right. Since I'm doing this tonight, I'm not doing one tomorrow. Got things to do. That's why I'm getting ready to go on and keep it popping with this. All right, let's get back into it. All right, so we've been talking about individuals trapped at the reptilian portion of the brain stem, and how they allow to be overshadowed by these particular entities from the first and second overtone level of the fourth dimension. This was said to be the nectar of the gods, which is blood. It was the reptilian gods who are genetic blood drinkers. All right. The Holy Grail chalice or cup is also symbolic of the womb. All right. And drinking menstrual blood. This is as below, as above, as we showed you in previous videos. It is also the area in the brain which is known as the Holy or Sacred Grail, which is where the third ventricle, fourth ventricle is located at in the brain. So that's as above. And it says drinking menstrual blood, as well as being a symbol of reptilian royal bloodline itself. All right. Menstrual blood was provided for the elite of the reptilian royals, line by virgin priestesses, and this is origin of the term sacred woman, or to the Greek, sacred woman, scarlet woman, or sacred woman. The Greek word for this is herodulai, which eventually translates to English as harlot, and into German as whore, from Horus. All right, that's the origin of the word whore. Actually, it's Horus. So you had Het Heru, or Het Horus, the Eye of Horus. All right. This is where the term whore actually comes from the temple of the sacred women. All right. The word ritual is derived from the practice of raitu or redness. All right. And so do the words right and red. The menstrual blood is one reason why the color red is so important to Satanism. And it is also reason for constant use of colored gold by the royal bloodline. Gold is called the metal of the gods, but it is to the Anunnakians of the Sumerian text, menstrual blood was the gold of the gods. Right? The reptilians and their crossbreeds drink blood because they are drinking the person's life force and because they need it to exist in this dimension. Right? They will often shape-shift into reptilians when drinking human blood and eating human flesh. I'm told by those who have seen this happen. Right now, all of this information is coming from Icke's book, David Icke's book called The Biggest Secret. How come you can't see this screen? Oh, okay. All right, so blood drinking is in their genes. All right, and I'll show you and prove this what we're talking about. In the elite high priest, priest is a mother goddess in the hierarchy who performed rituals for the brotherhood at the highest level. Told me that without human blood, the reptilians cannot hold human form in this dimension. Her name is Arizona Wilder, as I just showed you earlier in the last one, formerly Jennifer Ann Green. Interestingly, it is said that she was killed. All right. Interestingly, she said that the reptilians had been pursuing the Aryan people around the universe because the people of the white race were particularly important to them for some reason, and the blonde-haired, blue-eyed genetic strain was the one they wanted more than any other. All right? Now, understand, this is David Icke. Now, this is what he's saying. They have followed the white race to Mars, she said, and then came to Earth with them. All right? Sorry, we already showed you who was on Mars. The Albions were not on Mars. They are earthly. And I'll prove all of that, but this is them trying to add themselves into the scenario as we was talking about earlier. All right? It is far from impossible that the reptilians arrive on this planet in numbers was far more recent than even many researchers imagine. An interbreeding program only a few thousand years ago between the reptilians and Anunnakis and the white Martians bloodline, all right, already interbreeded with the reptilians on Mars. Now, you see this white Martian thing, and they show you this science, all right, what we're talking about on Flash, all right, via Supergirl. Supergirl, you have the green Martian, who's actually is a brother, right? Is a brother. Oh, word. Thank you, Daniel Canada. Word. Thank you, brother Daniel. Peace, God. All right. Appreciate that on Super Chat. All right. So remember on Supergirl, they had the white Martians. You see, this is where they get the concepts from now that they talking about. They taking comic book shit and trying to add themselves into it. We ain't talking about comic book shit per se. Even though comic books do represent symbolically at times shit that actually have gone on in society and in history. All right. We know that that Martin Luther King is really from the X-Men. That would be Charles Xavier. We know that Magneto is really Malcolm X. You know, we know Storm is Oya. We know that Thor is Shango. You know, these are our images, our ancestry line and our gods or Elohims. All right, the Loa, the seven African powers, the seven souls of Ra. All right. But anyway, the same thing about these white Martians and these green Martians who on Earth love to come in the form of black people. All right. The commander, or the former now commander of the agency in which that Supergirl is part of, he's a brother. His father came in the representation as a brother. All right, even the white Martians who have retreated and have reneged against the and betrayed and put up a resistance and a rebellion against the white Martians who was killing the green Martians. Some of them has rebelled, and even the sister has now, when she incarnates or put on garb of the flesh, she's a sister. All right, and even though she's technically a white Martian, she felt better in so-called black skin. All right, this is what this is showing you, even on Supergirl. All right, so David Icke puts this that they found the white race that they follow the white race to Mars. The white race can't even live on this planet, let alone other planets. This is why his time is up 6,000 years, according to Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is bullshit that they trying to teach you, and David Icke slid this shit on up in here, and this is why I say I don't agree with everything he says. Because guess what? I told you what Credo. Now he's such good friends with Credo Mutwa. Credo Mutwa said that the South African people, or the Amazulu people, which means the sky beings or sky gods or the sky people, that came here from the sixth planet that they was on, which was Mars. So that was the sixth planet. What about the fifth, the fourth, the third, the second, the first? Well, that goes all the way back to Sirius. All right. Around Sirius was the first planet. All right. Obviously, from the implosion in which that happens with possibly with the star Sirius B, Ziggy Tolo, Polo, you have Ziggy Tolo, Polo Tolo, Sirius B, Sirius A. And from that implosion, we know that our sun came forth. It was birthed from the implosion of Sirius B. All right, from the energy in which that was released from Sirius B. That's what we do know. And our solar system in particular is our grandchildren, all right, because the sun symbolizes Heru, Sirius, in particular Sirius A symbolizes our set Isis, as it's called the star of Isis. Metaphysically, is the sun behind the sun. Also, what we find is that you have Masonically, within the Eastern Star, which symbolizes or set the star Sirius, you have the daughters of Isis. All right, so all of this connects. You have to go and do your research. All right, you have to go and do your research. Very deep information that we're talking about because it all connects. All right, so this is what we're talking about, that it is far from impossible that the reptilians arrive on this planet in numbers when for a more recent time than even researchers imagine. An interbreeding program only a few thousand years ago between the reptilian and Anunnakis. Now, understand that these reptilian Anunnakis that they talk about are the Meldekians that we talked about, right? So not only did we create the ancient ones, all right, which was the black gods and goddesses, create the bodies, all right, of these ape-like creatures and these anthropoids and hominoids, all right, such as the gorilla, chimpanzee, bonobo, and and the orangutan. All right, these in particular are the ones in which that house the ego, the spirits of the Meldekians. The Meldekians uses, which these are the reptilians that we're talking about. All right, these so-called Anunnakians. All right, which that is not the proper name for them. All right, these are the beings in which that inhibits these beings in which that we'll show you right here. Right, a little bit later on, it's coming up. But these bloodline families are so protectors of their lines that they even insist on intermarrying only simply because through their DNA, they can activate it to become hosts of reptilians or of these spirits. Don't get tricked into just the word reptilian, right? The reptilian is just a name in which that is used because it's talking about the activation of the reptilian portion of the brain, and this reptilian portion of the brain is over the first and second chakra, right? Which deals with lust and greed, all right? Now, through this specific DNA, secret rituals, and blood drinking, those with this DNA can then invite and host a reptilian to possess them. Right? Now, you might not believe in this shit, but understand, we're talking about spirit, egos here, in which that can possess a person. We've already proven that, right? This allows for shape-shifting. This also gives the reptilian control of the human bodies to work out from and through. Now, understand that the albion is the best container for this because he lacks melanin and his pineal gland is inactive, 60 to 80%. And plus, so therefore this is why they were sought out, not from Mars, because we already showed you who come from Mars. All right, the Amazulu people come from Mars. All right, and they already exposed the fact on how they got here was through riding a Merkaba or a Makaba. All right, a light ship vehicle, same as Enoch that you read about in the Bible, as well as Elijah that you read about. He was taken up on a flaming chariot, a Makaba. So human 1 minute and reptilian the next. Think this is too far-fetched to be true? Well, you have Vlad Dracula the third, the Impaler, who was born in what we call now Transylvania. All right, and this is where the story of Dracula comes from. It's from him, and he actually would impale his victims on stakes and eat them. All right, this is what this picture is here to the right. All right, and he went mad, and this is and he had Kuru disease. All right, and look at the individuals who are related to Vlad the Impaler. Right, this is why Vlad, in hip hop, that's why they call him, a culture vulture. Hell, he got the name of Vlad and then put that shit anyway. I ain't gonna even get into it. Anyway, George Bush, right? You got John Kerry, all right? Princess Diana Wells. Everybody is so magnetized by her and her story. Barack Obama, Abraham Lincoln, Hugh Hefner. Now, see, he can be damn 100 years old, sexing damn teenagers, and have damn 15 of them on his TV show back in the days. All right, yeah, of course I'm being facetious. He wasn't 100, but shit, he might as well have been. Anyway, Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, Marilyn Monroe. All right, Celine Dion, Madonna. Is this a coincidence? Dick Cheney with the grudge face, as you see. Pocahontas. All right, so just check that out. Prince Charles, heir to Dracula's bloodline. Wow, they came straight out in the Telegraph and told you that. The Romanian Tourist Board is to use links between the British royal family and Count Dracula to lure in UK tourists. It has emerged. If you don't understand what we're talking about, and the reason why we said that these reptilians, as they refer to them as the Anunnakians, really these are the Meldekians that we talked about earlier, that the bodies was made from for these 8 like species that died off, as well as also these gorillas, orangutans, chimps, and these are the spirits in which that house these particular vessels, because this is what is called the mindless ones of the delayed race, as we went over. All right, so you got to go back to the last video that I just did. I just did one an hour and a half ago. All right, but here we have, for those that don't believe this, on January the 1st, 1801, Payasi discovered a wandering asteroid 437 miles in diameter between orbits of Mars and Jupiter, which he called Sirius. Since then, over 250 asteroids has been located. Long ago, Maldek was a third-dimensional planet with a fully conscious life form upon it that was humanoid in shape. All right? Such life form was not restricted by reincarnation, but rather stepped in and out of form at will. This is who we're dealing with. The solar system at this time consists of two suns, Jupiter, the sun and Jupiter, the blue sun. There are many accounts, Maldek, which has been called Vulcan, Lucifer, Phoenix, and Astera. All right. However, it has been stated that the war resulted and eventually Maldek, all right, we get the word Marduk, became a meaning light of the pure mound, Nubiru, Nebhiru, the golden light, also called the planet of the gods, was destroyed by nuclear weapons, atomic hydrogen bombs. The loss of this planetary body in the solar system resulted in equally of the sexes on the earth. The energies of Venus and Mars normally would be integrated by the Maldekian planetary field as the energy waves of such planet intersect with the earth. Without the integration of this energy by the Maldek field, a slow growing separation occurred between male and female sexes. This is how we split. People want to know how we split from being an androgynous state. I just told you the science. See, this is why you have to go and listen to my videos, because we always get to the bottom of all this shit. Now you can go back and put all this information together that we've been dropping over the last month. Unity slowly fall away, and the Atlanteans are most prone to their effects as they draw so much of their energy from the planetary grid. This was the war in heaven which was mentioned or manifested on earth. Tiamat, the dragon mentioned in the Sumerian clay tablets, is speaking of Maldek. For Tiamat, Maldek, Vulcan, now called Earth, right? Because at one time, Tiamat was 3 times the size of the planet Earth. All right, that's where we once were, was in the area between Mars and Jupiter. All right, but Nubiru, Neberu, all right, unless it came through 3,600 years and it hit Tiamat, all right, in which that caused it to split up into pieces, all right, asteroid belt, and allegedly what becomes our planet and what becomes the moon. So Tiamat was the size of the planet Earth, the moon, and the asteroid belt combined. The larger chunks of the planet settled into a new orbit, becoming the Earth and our moon. The remnants of such a disaster as the Earth fault lines, and in the Holy Bible, it alludes to the fact that the Earth is a fallen world and that Lucifer was the king of this world, or that the angel Khadirah ruled the Earth. According to the Urantia's book, Khadirah was loyal to Satan, who served Lucifer. Therefore, the whole sector of space has fallen from grace, along with Lucifer. Right? Sean David Morton, Delphi Associates Newsletter, Volume 8, Issue 95, August 2003. This explains why the energy of this planet Earth is so destructive. The rest of Maldek and its moon Malona floats in a ring of debris between Mars and Jupiter, now called the asteroid belt. Right? So we have proof of this. All right. You can also go now to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, Tahuti, excerpts from Tablet 8, the Key of Mysteries. But know ye, the masters were mighty in magic, able to lift the veil from the face of the serpent. All right? Able to send him back to his place. First and second overtone. In other words, they was able to do what is called exorcism. It was exorcists. This is what this is talking about, the masters, exorcists. That was their magic, being able to speak the words of power to veil the face of the serpent. All right? If you have been following me for some years now, you know that I've interviewed the goddess Floorberg. And she speaks about how she began to start veiling these reptilians And I begin to use the same method, and I begin to start unveiling them at the same time. All right. So go back to the earlier video and see, this is why I do this. So you can begin to start getting the pieces of this puzzle of the teachings. All right. So go back to when I interviewed Sister Floorburn. All right. And so able to lift the veil of the face of the serpents, able to send him back to his place, come die to man, and taught him the secrets, the words that only a man can pronounce. So see, they talking about the words only which man can pronounce. So see, swift, then they lift the veil from the serpent and cast him forth from place among men. Yet beware, the serpent still liveth in the place that is open at times to this world. So there are wormholes in which that they can bridge into this world. There are also underground caverns and caves in which they can come up in. We showed you the signs that they actually are reptilians, and this is so-called Black people talking about this here in the South. They've seen them. All right. I told you that I know. I lived in North Carolina in 1988. All right. When Christopher seen this reptilian an hour and a half away from where I lived at. All right. So I lived near Wilmington, North Carolina, and here they were in Bishopville, South Carolina. Right. So unseen, they walked amongst the places, in places where the rights has been said. Again, as time passed onward, shall they take the semblance of man. How can they take the semblance of man? When they overshadow them, as we talked about earlier. All right. When they overshadow them. Right. Here it is. When they overshadow them, they can take the semblance of man. They've walked through man, taking the semblance. Right? This is what is going on. Right? You heard this before. The brain is conductor of the course. Of course, it receiving signals from all over the universe. It is the universe in miniature form, the microcosm of the macrocosm. Those signals can come from so many places, including shadow beings. And these shadow beings rule the reptilians, as you see, because they are shadow beings. The reptilians are the shadow beings in a sense, through thoughts. So it's important to focus on thoughts that are uplifting. All right. The more positive your thoughts of love and happiness, all right, the more powerful you become. In fact, within a year's time to 2 years, you can activate your God-given gifts: telepathy, clairvoyance, okay, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairgestance. All of these gifts can be yours within a year to 2 years of just keeping positive thoughts on your mind. I know, but you control your thoughts through the breath. All right, as the breath is the mind in action. That's how you do it, because the breath is the mind in action. Right. So here we have it's talking about breaking news. Right. This is CNBC. This guy to the right is actually slithering, all right, and sounding like a snake to this guy here on the left. And the guy on the left looked kind of scary if you've seen the video. All right. If you've seen the video, it looks kind of scary. It does. Oh, word. Aladdin, word, Bay, word, appreciate that. Peace to the family, no doubt. Peace to you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? This is also a newscaster. Look at his tongue. Reptilian. All right. So when a brother asked me earlier today, have I seen it? Shit, I got pictures of it. Right. This is something that they do in Africa. All right. They do this in Africa where they file the teeth into this way. Okay. Who are they imitating? All right. Here you have a so-called reptilian hybrid back cross, tooth sharpened in tradition of far culture, Ethiopia. All right. This is also a known hybrid back cross, tooth sharpened in tradition. And this is in the Cebu Island in Indonesia. Right. They practicing and doing this from the reptilians, because here you have Ross Perot, all right, who was caught with his teeth like this. All right. Well, we find out that scarification and tooth sharpening traditions practiced among Central African tribes included bloodletting rituals as rites of passage into adulthood for both male and females. The unusual aesthetics appearance of scars patterns conveying the strong impressions of reptilian scales covering the body. Right? They're imitating these beings. Facial scarification patterns often includes a vertical line of lumps cut into the nose and down the center of the forehead, closely matching UFO abductees descriptions and drawings of the giant reptilian humanoid species showing a rise ridge of scales running down the center of the bald head. Traditional masks from various cultures preserve imagery of these extraterrestrial visitors once worshipped as gods. This is why they imitate them. Now you've seen the one to the left here. If you've seen Star Trek, all right, you will see that they have a brother who plays this Worf, all right, who plays this character, all right, of an extraterrestrial, and he has the same scarifications on his forehead, right? So they're imitating, all right, these beings, right? This is a head shake tradition, Nephilim hybrid back cross. This is Magbuti or Mabutu culture in Congo. In the Congo, this is who Akhenaten and Nefertiti were descended from. They was descended from these people right here. All right. So it's hard for you to believe. Well, let's go to the indigenous cultures. All right. The Navajo, the Zuni, the Pueblo, the Hopi, and the Apache. This is what they say. Ant-like insectoids and snake-like beings, reptilians. In the American Southwest, we have evidence of what appears to be modern day description of the reptilian alien race. The majestic mesas and ridge mountains of the American Southwest are home to many native people, including the Navajo, Zuni, Pueblo, Hopi, Apache. These tribes has many different beliefs, but their creation myths are all shared something quite remarkable. All of them share the belief that they came up from the ground. Now, these reptilians and the hybrids in which that was made by the reptilians, who are known as the Greys, they live underground. Right? The Apaches and Pueblo Indians, the Zunis and the Hopis have legends that they emerged from some underground world into today's world. This because all of these individuals are related to the Dogon. The Dogons are called cliff dwellers, and they live on side of mountains in what we call caves. All right. So they come up from out of the earth. All right. They even wear stilts. This is where the stilt walking comes from. All right. It comes from the Dogon. Underground worlds in today's world, and some of the Southwestern people went back underground for safety. The Hopis of Arizona say their ancestors escaped a deadly storm from falling stars with help of the snake people, who took them to shelters deep in the earth. So see, all of them is not bad. Today we know of other Hopi legends that speak of the ant people who protect them from storms, fire, and ice. The Hopi Indians survived cataclysms by living in the underground world with the ant people for a certain period of time. And then eventually they emerged from the underground world back into the surface world. Today, the shamans and the elders of Native Americans would tell you that before these people were able to emerge out of planet Earth, they was brought here by the star people, these star gods, which according to them and their belief arrived from outer space, right? Actually, not from outer space, they are interdimensional. All right, this is what I want to talk about. They interdimensional, and I went over the various dimensions the other night. All right, last night. Right. For decades, stories of encounters of UFOs and alien beings have been told amongst the people of New Mexico. All right, Jacarilla, Apache reservation near the town of Dos, which there is an alleged underground facility where aliens and humans are working on several projects together. Right, nestled in the area in the shadows of the over 9,000 feet high Archuleta, the Archuleta Mesa. It is from this mesa and mountain that people claim that they have seen UFOs flying out of the mountain. Even today, New Mexico is one of the places where the most UFO sightings occur, along with Mexico. All right. This is Dr. Malakazi York. Behind the shades, which you have a problem seeing here, but if I had the picture a little bit low, you would see that his eyes are amber, all right, yellowish amber color, and his eyes are slit, right? And we know what happened with him, all right, practicing sex magic and different rituals and things like that. He got inhibited by the reptilian entities. We ain't got nothing with, check this out. Now, this is a quote from Beyonce. Beyonce, no, Bey once, all right? Queen Bey, as they refer to her as. But ain't got nothing without love. That's all we have when this world is through. This world will know Satan. I am sure for the end of your sins, because they're going to live in hell. I follow Satan, hell Satan, right? Well, here's her eyes, they slit. I'm just showing you what's back them with the with this energy here, right? It says, what do you think? Look close enough to me, aliens or demons, all right? Beyonce eyes went all black, and we do have children, which are called the children of the black eyed, all right? They have been reported, all right? And you have the gray aliens. That means that beings are having now being spliced with these gray DNA, and we understand that grays are hybrids themselves of the reptilians and humans, okay? And they have no emotions. They are the psychopaths. You know what I'm saying? But here we have Nicki Minaj. Alter ego is Roman Zolansky, none other than Roman Polanski, who was the infamous pedophile, and you know that her brother got on charges of pedophilia. But Roman Polanski was a pedophile, infamous pedophile, movie director who raped a 13-year-old girl and then fled the country. All right. You had the god KRS-One, who did a song back in the days called 13 and Good. All right. Roman, this is what Nicki Minaj says. She says, Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me. Not God lives in her, damn little crazy ass motherfucking cracker boy. He say the things I don't want to say. I asked him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People conjure him up. Now he won't leave. This is what she says. Eyes go slit. When people say, have I seen it? Hell yeah, I seen it. All right. I've actually was in front of a lady and her eyes went slit. They went to clear blue, just like Nicki Minaj's eyes right here, and went with a slit. I told my wife about it. All right. And she was under distress. She was under stress. She was under anxiety, nervous, and she was crying, emotion. The emotions also caused them to lose shape-shifting ability, right? Or lose human form, and they begin to shift in front of you. All right. No. We already spoke about psychopaths. There's only 3 things that you can do with a psychopath. You can imprison them, you can lobotomize them, or either you kill them. This is Bobby E. Wright, Dr. Bobby E. Wright. He said that in the racial pathological racial book that he wrote. Here we go and take a copy.
Are you saying that the Beehive is corrupt?
I'm just telling you that there's some things going on that you need to investigate. That's all I'm saying. Investigate, investigate. All right? Investigate. See what the hell going on with these people. All right? Especially when they tell you certain stories. All right? So, all right. So, just waiting for the screen to pull back up here, and we're gonna get it back popping. I don't know how this thing went out, but I'm looking for the information, to verify what we just talked about, and the joint went out. So, as usual, we always have to deal with some nonsense. All right, that's just what it is.
Dark brown eyes, and some people say my eyes turn green.
Well, that's different. Your eyes can, if you have dark brown or light brown eyes, sometimes they do turn green based on your genetics. All right, that can happen, or either they turn black, dark, but not all black. Where your iris, when the white of your eyes become your iris, also, that's not supposed to happen. Okay.
Are you saying that the master teacher is a reptilian?
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, the master teacher is a reptilian. He said it himself. In fact, he even said that we are reptilians. All right. But in order to activate that reptilian side of ourselves, you have to dabble within the lower self. All right. That's all I'm saying. All right. So let me get this. Where the hell is my joint at?
Is the Pope part of the bloodline?
Hell yeah. The only way you can be the Pope is if you one of the high ones. Really, the one who really backed in him is the Black Pope, as I spoke about earlier. The Black Pope is the one in which that we see, or some has not seen. He's the head of the Jesuits. Okay.
Does Bush got some black in him? Some melanated energy?
Well, Junior Bush, as we know, his mom's side was from Aleister Crowley. All right. Aleister Crowley, his daughter is Barbara Bush, who just died recently. All right. That means he's from the lineage of Aleister Crowley, in which that we've seen Jay-Z wear the shirt, "Do as thou wilt," which is a saying from Aleister Crowley. All right. So when we talk about the beehive is corrupted, there's some things going on which I don't blame people for having to ask them to be accountable for, as far as them and the so-called Illuminati. All right.
People don't give enough reverence to the moon. What do you think about giving reverence to the moon? Don't we need both the sun and the moon?
Yeah, we definitely need the sun and the moon. Symbolize masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy, electrical energy. Feminine energy, negative energy is the moon. When you give too much credence to the moon, though, you can become a lunatic. All right. So you have to be able to do your rituals. All right. During the times of, you might get that from her. You might want to do your rituals during the high magic times, which is 12, 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. All All right, so that is high magic times, adornal times. So of course you have the sun and you also have the moon. So if you do it during those times periods, you tap into both. Right, that is the science.
What do you think of the importance of language and culture?
Language is very important. Language is attached to your DNA. So if you the language in which that you use, not only is it attached to your DNA, there are actually apartments or compartments in your brain in which that has connection to your last incarnations. And so it also has connection to your last languages in which that you spoke. All right. So if you was drawn to a particular language in this lifetime, such as you might have been attracted to Spanish, maybe you was from the Spaniard line the last time, but was a Moor who spoke Spanish. All right. Or as we say, Moorish Latin. All right. Maybe you was drawn to Metru Neter. All right. Come to find out, you did a reading and you was part of the royal family of Egypt, Kemet. All right. So all these things have significance. You have to find out how it ties into your existence this time around.
Is it okay to practice Santeria, Palomayomba, and Voodoo? They get possessed and sometimes move like serpents.
Well, the serpent in which that is moving in those particular rituals is the Kundalini. All right. But they are taking life force, which in high magic is not necessary because the red force is all around you. It's called prana or chi or ki energy, and it's all around you. So it's not necessary to do that. You know what I'm saying? To take another life force, that is bent on selfishness and bent on utilizing another's life force, you know what I'm saying, for a ritual or a magic ritual in which that can do, you know what I'm saying, which that you can basically pin, or let's put it this way, you have high magic, which does not require you to put a stoppage to anything. In low magic, if something comes, you want to put a stop to it, then you would do a ritual in order to try to change it around, to do something else. All right. So low magic, that's what it's. Now, if you practice, so we talking about white magic, which is high magic, which does not require you to do anything outside of just living, breathing, and being love. Low magic, sometimes you have to jam a frequency or some type of channel, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's necessary, which is black magic. So you want to really be in the middle. You want to be able to know white magic and black magic, which is gray magic. Okay. That's really what you want to master. All right.
I feel a strong connection to Egypt and the Pharaoh Akhenaten. Some people say I actually look like him. What does that mean?
Well, that goes back to what we just talked about. The whole science is that you have royal DNA, and we're just not within the European families. This is one of the reasons why I'm like, David Icke is bullshit with that information coming about the so-called European families, because we know that the black nobility family is the real family in which that had all these particular genes, in which that was really, popping. You know what I'm saying? It came from that genealogy, not from, what David Icke is taught. Okay? This is a problem, right? This is a problem. All right. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up, but I'm gonna have to go in. All right. So, um, that is the situation. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Uh, All right. Any other questions, right quick, as I pull this up, because we got another hour to go. We're gonna go on and knock it out. All right. So just bear with us as we get this going. You know how this shit was technical difficulties. All
I
right.
see people saying that Europeans and all others besides blacks birth rates are dropping fast. Then I see Caucasians saying that all minority birth rates are dropping.
Yeah, that's true because they sterilizing us. Right. There's
the lead and the lack of iodine.
This is happening because of the solar winds, the suns, the mass coronal eruptions, solar flares, super flares, mega flares, causing skin cancers, carcinomas, melanoma, etc., etc. That's what all that is coming from, right? So this is happening because this 6,000-year rule is up, all right? This 6,000-year rule is up, all right? Now, um, ours is happening because they genetically alter the food. They put fluoride in water. They put in barium and aluminum in the chemtrails, et cetera, et cetera. So theirs is happening naturally out of natural selection. Ours is happening because of poisoning and chemical poisoning. All right, that's why ours is happening. Two different reasons. All right.
Some people say I have deep set eyes. What does that mean?
Um, just means basically that when you look at deep set eyes, just simply mean that um, the area is shorter at the brain. You have what is called the optic nerves. So the optic nerves area is shorter. So it causes the eyes to appear to be sink in a little bit further than other people. Sometimes other people's eyes might bug or bulge, and that's because of iodine deficiency. You know what I'm saying? Thyroid problems. So those are the situations with that. Sometimes you have shorter optic nerves in which that goes into the corona, attach itself to the eyeball, which is the rods and the rods in the eyes and so forth and so on. So they are a little bit shorter. So it appears to the eyes sink further into the skull, but they don't have anything per se to do. These are just ethnicity slash what they refer to it as. Um, right.
The moon has no life, so I don't mess with the moon.
Okay, exactly because right here, other reflections, because the moon is nothing more than a reflection of the sun, the light of the sun. So you know, we know that for a fact. Okay, it done took it off. It's not even here.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Because it should be recent. Someone told me today, while I'm fasting, not to drink or eat fruit because it contains sugar and the parasites love the sugar. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you go on the than that, I would recommend um greens. All right, you want to make green juice, kale, spinach, green beans, even do okra. You know what I'm saying? Also, you want to take some herbs. We call it washout. All right, and wash out what it does.
How you know?
I already know. I wrote it. Wash out what it does is actually has chaparral, golden seal, and some other herbs in it. And so when you drink it, what it does is actually flush out the toxins out your body. All right, the parasites, the worms. You can also do black walnut, garlic, and wormwood. All right, along with casagara or casa negrata. All right, so you can use those. Okay.
Cole said, when you know when you want some knowledge start messing up.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm looking and can't get it. Ain't that something? That's some BS right here for real.
That the ancestors want you going in it.
Oh, too bad. The ancestors they ain't running this like that. We running this. We are the ancestors, so they just have to fall in line. That's all. I've been looking for 6 minutes because it's 11:06, right? I got another hour to teach. So, all right. So basically, y'all just keep asking questions until we get this thing pulled back up, because we will get it pulled back up. Best believe that. All right. No, it's not deleted. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I would say the devil don't want me to damn get this information out. That's what I would say. It ain't the ancestors. Hell, they the ones who gave it to me. All right. The ancestor gave me this information to drop on you.
Dr. Sabi says golden seal is a hybrid.
Yeah, so is garlic. I know Dr. Sabi said all of that, but the thing is that some of us, many of us are hybrids also. We're not pure 100% African as we would love to believe ourselves to be. All right, so some of us are hybrids. So that's the reason why hybrid plants are generated on the planet, is to still help in the healing. Remember the biblical saying, it's in the book of Genesis, where it states that your herbs are meant as your meat, and also herbs is for the healing of a nation, right? What's that? Genesis what?
1:11.
1:11. Genesis 1:11. So herbs are for the healing of a nation. So yes, it might be a hybrid, but there's always a use that can be utilized. All right. And I know that as a master herbalist. All right. So I'm telling you that as a fact. All right. I seen garlic work on animals. Right. Cayenne pepper work on animals. All right. All of this actually helped. All right. So not only did it help humans, but it even worked on animals. All right. We had a dog, right, that my son, my wife saved, and he had at the time, I guess the children was beating him up or something and stab him, had a damn hole in his neck and all this shit. I mean, just crazy, ugly type of shit was going on. And so first thing we did, I said, yo, give him some garlic water. The dog drank every last bit of it. And do you know that the stab wound that was on the neck bust and healed? All right. And when we seen that dog again, all right, that dog was so damn beautiful. We was like, wow. We was crazy to give that dog away. You know what I'm saying? But that dog was so beautiful. All right. We couldn't even tell if it wasn't for him wagging that, what was it, a boy or girl? Can't even remember. It was a girl. For her wagging her tail so hard, I wouldn't have knew that it was her. All right. So, and she was a lab. You know what I'm saying? She was a lab in something else.
What do you think of ethereal or ether?
Ether or ethereal energy, that's nothing more than astral light or astral energy. All of that is the same thing, which is part of what we refer to as the level up from this one. We have your etheric, from the physical body, you have your etheric body and your astral body. So the energy in between the ethereal realm and the astral realm, that is your emotional energy. All right. And that emotional energy, that's the energy in which that give you the ability in order to feel and to heal. All right. That's the energy. Yes, we do personal consultations. You can give us a call at 910-364-9099. You can also see the link that my wife will put in the chat room, as well as also you can go to the website, www.dralimelbey.com, and you can go to lectures and consultations and set up a consultation, set up a time in which that is good for you and good for myself, in which that we can talk about the situations and what is going on with you in your life.
Any significance to the eclipse and Friday the 13th?
Well, definitely. Of course, Friday the 13th never been bad for us. 13 has been bad for the Albion for whatever reason, because if you go to New York or upstate, you will find that they do not even put 13 they do not even put a 13th floor in their buildings. It skips from 12 to 14. Okay. But yet they got 13 all over the damn flag. 13 white stripes, 13 red stripes, 13, used to have 13 stars, you know what I'm saying, in a circle. If you go to the old flag, now look on the back of the dollar bill, and on the dollar bill, you know what I'm saying, it has 13 arrows in the talents of the eagle. 13 is the stripes, you know what I'm saying, on the bottom of the eagle, and you know, all of these 13 steps and all of these things. So all of this is Masonic, and all of this is occult information. You know what I'm saying? 13 symbolizes Beth, which is house within Hebrew and Arabic. Beth Abba, all right, which symbolizes house, which is talking about, in a sense, your physical body. All right. So 13 also is the number of new beginning. That's what number 13 represents. It represents and mean a new beginning. All right.
Peace to all. These full moons of this month, do you think it can be wise to do rituals?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always wise to do rituals. Always. Always wise to do rituals. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole science is that with rituals, what is going on is that you are essentially helping yourself jam the frequency of negativity. So if something negative might happen, you are able to jam that frequency, right? You're able to jam it, you know what I'm saying? So that you can override it and you make what you want to happen. That's the science of rituals, is to jam the frequency. That is low magic, but it works. All right, burning candles of a specific color can be utilized. All right. After it burns out, you can see the images um, on the glass. If you get a 7-day candle, right? Which we have 7-day candles. But if you get 7-day candles, look at the image on the glass. It can tell you the story of what is going on around you. All right. Listen to when you light the wick. All right. Hear if it cracks. All right. Hear if it pops. All right. If it turns blue. All right. All these things symbolizes that this is working for you and that the ancestors are around and they're going to make it work. All right. If the flame is low, then you need to add more magic to your work. You need to have your altar or shrine set up. All right.
Is it possible to have a fully melanated spirit but incarnate into a mixed body?
Yeah. Because remember, you have big B, big B, big B, little b, big B, little b, little b. That's the Punnett square. All right. Gregor Mendel, who is the European father of what we call genetics, is the one who put that together. Gregor Mendel. All right. And in there, overstand about what they talking about, that big B is dominant, superior. Big B, little b has dominant traits, but also has um, recessive traits. That is what you refer to as your mulatto. All right. Also, you have little b, big B, which is also recessive trait, but it also has dominant traits. It will also be referred to as what you call a mulatto. But then you have little b, in which that would be symbolic more so to someone who has weak genes, recessive genes. All right. So uh, just imagine big B, those who are of dark skin or melanated. heavily melanated. Then big B, little b, think of the darker people, such as the Hawaiians, the Taino, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans, so forth and Mexicans. All right, they will fit within the big B, little b. Then, of course, the little b, big B, you might have the Greeks, the Spaniards, the Turks. You know what I'm saying? And then little b, you might have blonde hair, blue eyes, Albions, Europeans, red hair, Albions with pasty pale skin. You see what I'm saying? So this is goes to show you that Gregor Mendel, who was a European, the so-called European father of genetics, showed you that that the so-called black genes are dominant, right? And the so-called white genes are recessive, right? And I'm using black and white in terms of the fictitious world in which that we live in. All right, I understand fully as a Moor what all of that means. That's not the issue. We're trying to get the information out so our people can understand what's going on, right? So that's what we're trying to do. All right.
What do you think about monatomics and colloidal?
Monatomic, gold, silver, etc., can be used. You know what I'm saying? I've used colloidal silver, all right, and we've also used colloidal gold and different other ones at sometimes, but I didn't really feel too much from that. Okay, I felt more from iodine, magnesium, okay, than I did from colloidal silver, colloidal gold. All right, I felt more from vitamin B12. Okay, because these are the things in which that, and also more from vitamin C. So these are minerals in which that the body don't produce very little of, and so you have to take and find it in other sources. Okay.
Have you noticed that the sun has been getting brighter and the moon has been staying full for like 2 to 3 days lately?
Yes, definitely. And the reason why is because we are in Solar 23. We still in Solar 23, which is the time of when the sun is doing what is called coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, which is also what is called solar flare activity, super flares, mega flares, etc., etc. These things are still taking place right now with everything which they be talking about. All right, so yes, definitely. All right, and food grade hydrogen peroxide. All right, food grade basically is what we refer to as is 8 and above percent. Right, we even have as high as 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. Right, if you have AIDS, HIV, herpes, etc., it can be used by putting certain amounts of drops in a gallon of water and drinking that gallon over the day, so that it can flush out the dead viruses and bacteria, etc., yeast. If you have candida, all of this can be flushed out, right, from hydrogen peroxide, 35% food grade. All right. I will only use it for a temporary time, like about maybe 2 weeks, and then be off of it for about a week to 2 weeks, and then come back on. It wouldn't be, on and on and on.
Have you seen a macabre before? And is there a way to?
Yeah, I actually have activated my own macabre. All right. We first did that back in because I was initiated into Dravalo's Melchizedek flower of life, and where we was taught the 18 breath technique, the 24 breath technique, and the 28 breath technique, in which they activated the macabre. All right. And so I shared this information with some brothers back in 1999, and we were sitting there with our auric fields humming and buzzing. Okay. We were just waiting for liftoff. And our quote unquote Higher selves did not allow for that to happen. So we got up to 17 breaths out of the 18 breath technique. But we was able to feel everything, the buzzing. We was able to feel like an engine type of energy around us, and everything. This is real. You have to practice it to believe it. There ain't nothing in which that, I can tell you, you have to practice it. I should say I can tell you, but you won't believe it until you practice it. How about that one? Okay. Because we know how skeptical, people can be, Negroes can be. So this isn't for me to tell you everything. This is for you to master yourself. So go and master the 18 breath technique. All right, 18 breath technique by Dravalo Melchizedek.
And what if you are red and you bronze in the sun really quickly, but have hazel changing eyes and blonde hair?
I mean, remember we talked about the Europeans now, the Albions. Some of them are not. They do not have calcified pineal glands. We have 20 to 40% of Europeans, Albions as they are called, who are not fully Albions. Obviously, they have some type of sufficient amount of melanin, and they can bronze. All right, in the sun. All right, even though they may have some recessive genes. All right, melanated people. Some of us has recessive genes. Everybody don't have a Willow's Peak, which is a dominant gene. All right, some of us don't have long hanging earlobes, which is a dominant gene. All right, some of us don't have black brown eyes. That's a dominant gene. You know what I'm saying? Some eyes are hazel, some eyes are light brown, but they still melanated. Obviously, you can tell that.
Toxins, the sun won't burn you.
Right, yeah. If you're not eating toxins, then the sun don't burn. Only reason why we burning in the sun nowadays and Negroes putting on suntan lotion because they have an effed up diet. Right? They have an F up diet. That's really what that is. Okay.
The Merkaba information, can one learn that in Ikram, the indigenous cosmic Golden Order of Melchizedek?
Yes. That's the reason why I got initiated, is to bring it into Ikram so that we can utilize it there too. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to come back tomorrow. I ain't got no choice. I got to find my shit. So we got to do it again. All right. Tomorrow it is. All right. All right. So as we will say, as we've been saying, continuing now for days, weeks, months, and years to come, we're moving towards our most cherished goals of health, wealth, knowledge of ourselves, perfection, security, and protection, all good things, better economic conditions, and full contentment. Every action, enterprise, and endeavor in which that we wish to be involved is bringing increasing rewards.
My life is becoming richer with joy, happiness, and full contentment.
We're experiencing more and more joy, and more frequently. All right, we're moving closer towards the oneness of God and Goddess and the full release of our inner higher selves. Ashe. All right. So just remember that. Keep saying that over and over again until it becomes so concrete till you can memorize it and say it at a drop of a dime like we do every night. And you will have more ancestors and more astral beings or astral helpers, as they're called, to gather around you to help you, all right, with information in which that can be very beneficial for you. It can make things happen. Like, for example, just 2 years ago, we got wiped out by Hurricane Matthews. Our home destroyed. So me and Queen was around here like Job. A year later, we ended up getting a house with everything in which that we had down 3 hours away. all right? And the house is 100 times larger, all right? So that mantra helped bring the ancestors around in order to help us move in a way in which that we needed things. So they seen the way in which that we can be helped the best was fulfilling our needs, all right? We needed a home. We needed a place where people can come and gather, during our events. All right, we getting ready to help put together our store on our land as we did at our other property. So all these things are things in which that comes in time, but the ancestors always work it out. We just got to stay in alignment with the ancestors. All right. So we're going to leave it here, and we're gonna come back tomorrow, all right, between 8 to 10. I can't tell you what time specifically, but just wait for us between 8 and 10. We put out the flyer on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. So just look for the flyer and come on back tomorrow. You hear? All right, yo, peace. We love y'all. We out.